Good morning. Schedule C, Form 1040. We are going to work on Part 2 expenses, line 18 to 27. So if you are a sole proprietor or you are L.L.C, sole owner, you are going to use Schedule C. If you are a statutory employee, you will use Schedule C to report your income as well, and probably some expenses. I will think, depending on what goes into being a statutory employee. But today, let's talk about Part 2 expenses for Schedule C, especially line 18 to 27. We have multiple short video to make it easy for you to locate which part you are trying to work on and make it easy to follow without being overwhelmed. And we have a video that covers Part 2, line 8 to 17. For line 18, office expenses, you'll have your office supplies. If you purchase office supplies and you don't use it raw during the year, you could deduct the part that you use and pretty much have a sort of inventory on your supplies to know how much you take out and claim those expenses. But if you want to treat your office expenses, and in fact here I will, right on top of my head, I will say that your postage, your mails will go here, and probably your office supplies as well. But once again, those office supplies, you don't have to deduct the full amount, especially if your business is new and you are trying to show some profit. You are not making a lot of profit at the moment, and you don't want to deduct all your expenses at once. You can choose to just deduct the part that you use, but you can still choose to treat your supplies as accidental and claim all the costs. But we will probably talk about that later, or you can read IRS instructions on Schedule C to see how you want to treat your office expenses. But what I usually do is when I purchase office supplies, I will enter that in my inventory and I will just claim the amount that I used during the year. And as you can see, I don't have anything here to claim, but I can show you right on my left here that HP box I purchased it this year, and my husband told me about it because he worked at a grocery store. He said that they were selling it for about $20. And I asked him, well, if that's a good deal to purchase it, and that's one box full of it. I didn't even open it, but based on his calculations, that's a good deal. So if you know how much one of the papers package sells for, then yeah, you can, you can tell that yeah, it's better to buy that whole box. But it depends on how much paper you go through, and I don't use a lot of paper really, but it could happen that we might use a lot. So in this scenario, for instance, I'm not going to claim $20 necessarily. I have the option, but what I usually do is might just claim, if I open that box and I take one package out, I might just claim that. Or if I don't use much of that package, I might just claim probably half of it if I think that's what I use of that based on how much the whole thing cost me. So that's how I treat my supplies, my office supplies. I don't deduct everything at once. So pension and profit sharing. Here, if you have a pension plan line and you have employees in your business, you'll put their pension plan here, but not your own. Your own will go on 1040. Let's see 1040 here. 1040 schedule 1. Let's see if we can pull from 1040. I just tap it here. If you are looking for your form to use, you'll do the search on IRS sites, and let's scroll it to see if you can find it here. So let's open this one here. So pension is what we are looking for. It will be more than an adjustment of income. And that will be line 15 here. Self-employed, self-simple and qualified plan. So if you have a retirement plan on yourself, you'll put it on schedule 1 line 15, not on schedule C, but schedule 1 line 15 of 1040. But if you have the retirement plan on your employees, you have employees, you put theirs here on line 19, rent or lease. If you are renting a car that you use in the business, you'll put the lease payment here. If you are renting a business equipment, you'll put it here as well, the rent as well. Or if you are renting a building that you use in the business, you'll put the rent here. So pretty much they have a breakdown: vehicle, equipment, and then you have other business property for line 20, A and B. Repair and maintenance. For the repair and maintenance, if you hire somebody to fix something, probably a property related that you use in your business or an equipment that you use in your business, the amount you pay that person, that contractor, including the material and the labor, will go on that line 21 if it does not improve the equipment or add value to it. But that just maintain it, you'll claim it on line 21. If you fix things yourself and you fix it, you are not going to put your labor here. You will put the parts that you purchase, they will go on line 21, but not your labor, just the parts. But if you hire somebody, you'll put the labor you paid and the parts you purchase as well. Supplies, not including part 3, will go here. And once again, those supplies, if here we talk about office expenses, mail and office supplies. Here it could be different type of supplies related to your business, so you'll put them here if you have not included them on line 3 here. And I don't have material and supplies. I don't have anything here. Let's see if I have supplies that should go on this. And in the case that I'm using here, when I package products to sell, I will put my supplies here on line 22. So things that goes into my packaging supplies will go on that line. So I have handling supplies is 1.9. So let's go down back and I have shipping here. You'll notice that this shipping, I didn't put it under office expense because it's not about mailing tax form or mailing some bills related to the business. It's shipping to the customers, so it doesn't go on line 18, but it has, I put it elsewhere because it's related to the customers, not quite the, it's not an office expense, line 18. So now the packaging here, 1.9, could easily go here. But before I do that, let's make sure I didn't report it elsewhere. I like to report my expenses at the bottom here, and as you can see, I have it here, material, supplies, and packaging, $2. So I put it here already, therefore I'm not going to add it back here. If I didn't put it there, it will go under my supplies here. But the reason why I put it down is because it's quite specific to the product that I'm selling and it's more packaging, so that's where I just list all my costs, but it could easily fit here as well. But once again, I only deducted the part of the supplies that I use, like I use jar to borrow oil for my customers, and I only deducted the jar that I use, not the whole box that I purchase and I have on hand in my inventory to fill up with my products. So, but you have the option, if you treat your materials as incidental, you can claim the whole cost here, or you can just claim the part that you actually use in the business. But if you are claiming the whole cost as an incidental, you have to make sure it's really creating an income in the business for you to be doing that. Line 23, taxes and licenses. For this session, let's take a look at my notes, but I can tell you that if there is, you live in a state that your states charge you a tax as a seller, and you'll put it here, but if you charge it back to your customers, then you'll put the tax as an income. It will go in your gross receipt, but then you will deduct the amount you send to the state here, and that's the tax charged to the seller. If the state charge buyers and you are in charge of collecting the tax from the buyers, and that's sales tax, you don't report the amount collected in your income, and you don't report the amount sent to the state here either. Only the tax charged to the seller that you charge back to the customers is what you report as an income and as an expense. And if you have to pay for a license fee to be in business with your state, you'll put it here as well. And if you sell liquor, you have to have a liquor license, it'll go here as well. There is some licenses that will be amortized. So let's take a look at my note to be sure we are covering the whole picture here. So yeah, the liquor license, you have to amortize it. It doesn't go on that line. If you have a real property and you pay that you use in the business, you pay property tax, you have to put it on that line 23 as well. You can put it there as well. So we talk about regulatory fee or local licenses to stay in the business, so they will go on that line 23. Let's see what else we can cover here. So federal unemployment tax that you pay on your employers. So before we talk about that, we should talk about Social Security. So if you are a sole proprietor and you have employees, well, you pay them wages. When you pay them wages, half of the Social Security and Medicaid comes out of their income. You hold on to it and send it to IRS. The other half comes out of the business portfolio, income portfolio. So that half that is coming from you, you will deduct it on line 23 as well. So, but there is this form 88 for receipts here, line 4. So make sure you deduct that by the amount shown on this. So pretty much when you are filling up form 88 for receipts, you'll have instructions that will help you figure out. So, and federal unemployment tax is something you pay as well when you have employees. The amount you paid will go here as well. And even if you are paying it, you won't be paying federal unemployment tax on yourself when you have a C corp. But if you have an S corp, yes. But we are talking about when you are a sole proprietor. Now you only pay on your employees. So federal unemployment tax that you pay on your employee salaries will go here on line 23 as well. State unemployment tax on insurance will go here as well. So your self-employment tax, you don't put it here. Self-employment tax, when you are a sole proprietor, you pay tax on yourself. So half of that will go on 1040. If we still have our 1040 open, we should have a line here. Let me see. It should be a deduction and adjustment to income. I'm not seeing it here. Let's go back and see what line it should be. Yeah, you enter half on form 1040 schedule 1. But I'm not seeing a part here. Deductible part of self-employment tax attached schedule SE. So that will be on line 14. So you'll deduct half of your self-employment tax there. So that's what goes into taxes and licenses. Just make sure you don't put your self-employment tax here. It'll go online. Half of it will go on line 1040 schedule 1. So travel and meals, you have to make sure it's related to the business. You can take the standard deduction or actual. So there is instructions on that. And I believe for the meal, you have to take 50% of it if you are claiming the actual expenses. And don't know if I have my notes here on that, but there is that website gsa.gov that you can visit to see the deductions, and you can read publication 463 as well to understand the whole picture around here. But I think I'll have another video later to go deep into business expenses, and I'll have my notes in the description if you want to read it as well. So utilities, you'll put telephone charges. So if you have one main land, you cannot deduct it here, but if you open a second line for your business, then the business part of the business use of your house, if that's 20% of your house that you are using for business, then you use that percentage to figure out the cost of the whole phone bill that should be a business expense, and you put it here. So wages will be what you pay to your employees. It'll go here. Now yourself won't go here, but all just your employees. And other expenses. So other expenses, you'll go to line 48, and we covered that in another video. That's part 5, other expenses, and that's where I put all my fees that I pay to use a third-party platform to sell my products, and even my shipping to customers, that I put it here as well. They could have gone on line 18 office expense, but I just want to grab to put them all together. Anything that's related to customers, here are the other expenses. So if you are using other expenses to claim some expenses, make sure you fill up part 5 and list them all up there, and that total to 32. So that's our expenses from line 18 to line 27 of part 2 expenses, schedule C, form 1040. Thank you for watching. I'm Afiavi Ojune, Liberman, creator of Liberman Consulting, L.L.C YouTube channel, and owners of Nina Soap. And our website is ninasoap.com. We have free download on our website. And as a business owner, maybe you might be interested in to-do list sheets. You can download it there for free and track things that you want to get done on your business to be more efficient. Thank you.